Hey everybody, Ethan here from WordTech, back with another video for you guys. I know this is a little bit of a late upload on Monday, but this is just a kind of a basic channel update video, which you guys know I do periodically. I want to let you guys know what's going on. I want to let you guys know where the heck have the videos been and where the heck has the podcast been for 2 weeks. Wordcast hasn't been happening for a couple of weeks. Don't worry, it'll be happening this Wednesday. But I just wanted to do a little bit of explanation as well as some future plans for the site. For the channel and the site and other stuff like that, and just talk to you guys a little bit more about, you know, what the future plans that I have set up for the overall like WordTech as a whole. And don't worry, videos aren't going anywhere or anything like that. I know there's been a lack of content on here for a little while. I hate that I pretty much almost every channel update video that I do every couple of months mention that there hasn't been as much content as I would like, and I'm trying to improve on the consistency and stuff. The first thing that I'd actually like to talk about is saying goodbye to the VidMe and the VidMe crowd. And this isn't just me directly. So a lot of you know that I do videos. I upload my videos on YouTube, Facebook, and previously VidMe as well, which is a kind of a startup video platform that's been around for a couple of years, where you can kind of pay your contributors directly with cash and whatnot. It was really hard to keep the videos uploaded properly there because they didn't have support for like large videos as well as the large quantities of videos. You were limited to how much you could upload. They didn't have 4K support, stuff like that. But I tried to do what I could over there, and it's, you know, it seemed like it could be a platform that might take off at some point. Well, unfortunately, it must have not been making much money or something. VidMe has closed their doors. There's no more content being, having the ability to upload any more content there. You can't upload anything. I don't know if comments are still active or not. Current videos will be removed. I think it's December 12th, I think, or it might be December 30th of 2017. Kind of unfortunate, because honestly, I like to upload to multiple platforms just like we like to stream to multiple platforms. The more platforms we can be on, the better in my mind, the wider audience that we reach. And I mean, I do prefer people to watch through YouTube because I get ad revenue from that directly. So, you know, rather than watching through Facebook or something like that, definitely appreciate the people that do watch through YouTube. But it was just nice to be able to reach the content out in more areas, and it's just unfortunate. So I wanted to mention that to people. Now, the first thing I want to address related to WordTech and everything that's been going on with me. So the reason that there hasn't been content for 2 Monday uploads now, which you guys are used to seeing uploads from me every Monday, and like, you know, where has it been? Okay, so first off, the first Monday that I missed, which would have been two weeks ago, that was my fault. I take full responsibility for making the mistake of I just didn't feel motivated to make a video. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to make a video about, and I hadn't done any filming during the week. Like I normally film all of my B-roll during the week, film the review during the weekend, and edit during the weekend, and I just didn't have anything prepared. That was my bad, and I need to just make sure I stay on top of things, right? And I was also doing some work on the website and felt like doing that instead of videos, and it was like I need to do both, right? The last one I missed was due to the holidays, so that's something you guys, you know, I mean, that's somewhat to be expected. I was busy getting stuff ready for Thanksgiving and whatnot. And the reason though this Monday that there's not a normal content video of like a review or something, especially because some of you that follow the channel know that Project Monochrome is back there and has been assembled, and you know, I'm gonna be doing some video coverage on that. Obviously there's a lot to go, which I'll be talking about that in a moment a little bit, but you know, I have a lot of plans coming up, and I had a migraine this weekend, so I wasn't able to get the filming that I needed done to do a video on Project Monochrome or potentially a review of my DX Racer chair. Was a couple things I had planned in the lineup, and I just couldn't do it. I was concerned about sitting in front of my, you know, bright CFLs because I had just had the migraine. I didn't want it to come back because bright lights tend to bring those back. And those of you that have, you know, that don't know what migraines are or think you've had one, but it's just a bad headache. Migraines are generally more extensive than that. There's other symptoms. It's not as simple as just, ow, my head hurts. Like, it's not just a bad headache. It starts, for me at least, and a lot of people get them differently and get them for different reasons, and it's very hard to determine the direct cause. But for me at least, I think it was barometric pressure changes that caused it, but I literally can't see like a good portion of my vision. Like if I were looking right now at the camera and I had one, I couldn't see the camera. It's just gone. There's nothing there. It makes me sick just thinking about it, to be honest. And so it was at that point where I couldn't make videos and stuff, and I just, that sucked. But I'm getting this one out today to tell you guys, you know, what's been going on. Now the podcast. that one's the interesting one. So we didn't have one on Wednesday. Everybody already knew about that one because that was the day before Thanksgiving. It was kind of expected that there wasn't going to be a podcast that day, and I already told everybody about that. The week before that, though, those of you that follow closely know that we had some weird issues with our video stream being extremely choppy, but our audio being pretty much fine, and we weren't exactly sure what was going on there. So after doing some further digging, because we had the same issue this last Wednesday, which was when we would normally do our podcast, we couldn't get the stream to play smooth, and we weren't sure why. I was doing it on new computers rather than my Ultrabook like I normally use, because I wanted to be able to up the quality a little bit and have a little bit better control over things, as well as I actually don't even own that Ultrabook myself anymore. And that thing would drop frames occasionally and stuff. We were having so many issues, we weren't sure what to do about it. And so I ended up testing, we were streaming from my laptop over here, which is a 6700K with 40 gigs of RAM. Shouldn't have a problem streaming, right? Especially at 720p. And then I tried with my Threadripper system here, and it's like, there's no way, if this is still having issues, that it is my system. And it's definitely not my bandwidth, because, I mean, my consistent upload to Restream servers, which is the service that I use to stream to multiple platforms at once, is like 12 to 15 megabit. Nothing great, but totally fine for one or even two 720p, 30 frames per second video feeds at 7,000 kilobits per second. So we couldn't figure out what was going on. We contacted Restream, and they replied right away. It was their live chat system, and I gotta say, those guys are extremely helpful. I explained to them my situation. I explained to them what my specs of my system were. I explained that we couldn't figure out what was going on because it worked fine from one computer, and then it didn't work fine from another one. We're not sure exactly what's happening. Turns out that somehow my OBS settings weren't set up correctly in terms of which server to stream to. I had set them up correctly, but for some reason they were defaulting, and I was unaware that they had been defaulting. I was checking all the video quality settings and stuff to the London location for Restream, so we were trying to stream overseas and back. Obviously, that's not going to work very great. So that's what the issue with the stream was. But by the time we'd actually figured it out and gotten the live stream to work properly, we were looking at about like almost 10, 15, something like that. We probably would have been like up and running and live by like 10:15, 10:30. And at that point, it was just so late. A lot of people don't even stay for the really late kind of after bits of the podcast. And there wasn't any major news, so we figured we were just not going to do it that week. And we're going to get back into it this week. So be on the lookout for WordCast this week. If you don't see it this week, something pretty major happened, like another migraine or something like that, right? So just keep that in mind. Is if it doesn't show up this week, it's not a technical issue or laziness. We're really on top of it this week and trying to get that done. Also, Mirko hasn't had videos on the channel recently either. He normally does Friday uploads when he can. It's not necessarily a super consistent thing, and many of you that follow the channel consistently know that he doesn't post all the time, but he's just been busy with the holidays and school and finals and stuff like that, so totally understandable there. I'm going to try and work harder to be able to coordinate with him and cover his Friday day when he's not able to do it, so that we can have the 3 videos a week that I like to have up on the channel. Monday, a review video, and Wednesday the podcast, and then we're also, Friday another review or project video of some sort. And pretty much the last thing I want to touch on here is some of the future plans that I have going on for the site. So I've been writing some articles for the website recently, which you'll see links in the description for that, and I'll be writing some more probably today, actually. Probably as you guys watch this, I'm working on writing articles, but I'm going to be getting some more people on board that are part of the team that have not really been around to write articles, because I haven't been writing consistent articles. I can't expect other people to write consistent articles if I'm not. So we should actually have a good amount of people doing consistent article writing for that. I finally got ads up on the site, so we make a little bit of profit from it, but we just have, I think it's 3 ads on there. They're very unobtrusive. There's one in the sidebar that's very small, and then there's 2 at the very bottom in the footer. There's nothing like in the middle of posts or anything like that, or in the middle of some of the text in the posts. Or in the background or anything like that. I don't want to plaster it with ads, and honestly, I don't care if I'm making a ton of money or not. It's something I just want to keep it very clean and simple, especially for those of you that like maybe follow us on Patreon and stuff. I don't want you guys seeing a bunch of ads, and I don't have it set up to remove ads by the user right now. So just something I wanted to point out there. And with the podcast, we have a couple of extra things coming up. So we're actually going to be streaming not only to Twitch and YouTube, but also I think it's called Mob Crush. And there's one other streaming platform that we're considering, but I'm not going to talk about that too much because we haven't confirmed yet if we're going to do that. But we're going to be streaming to probably 4 different platforms when we do our live streams, as well as we're going to have a obviously the uploaded version to both YouTube and our Facebook channels. And we'll also have a audio stream uploaded to our SoundCloud, which I have yet to create, but I'll be creating it for Thursday when we post that live, where you'll be able to stream it from SoundCloud, just the audio version, because I know some of you like just the audio version, as well as be able to download it directly so that you guys can own a copy of it in case you work in an environment where you don't have good internet or you don't have Wi-Fi and you don't want to use up your data. You can just download it on your phone or whatever and listen to it while you work. So something I wanted to be able to do for people. And I guess the very last thing I really want to touch on in this channel update here is what is going on with Project Monochrome and what is my experience with Threadripper. So the first thing I'll say is Project Monochrome is well underway. I have a lot of the base componentry for it. I've got to get a new GPU, and then I've got to start doing some storage stuff, and I'm waiting for some stuff to come out next year before I start doing the water cooling and whatnot. So the really, really fancy fun part, won't be happening probably until around April next year is my guess. But a lot of the other spec upgrades and stuff that I actually need to do work will be happening before then. But overall, I mean, I'm very satisfied with the system and the way it's turning out. I have such a great base platform. So to throw out the specs really quick, I've got the Tower 900, which is my case that I'm using. That's a Thermaltake case. Actually, I really do like the case, and whether you agree with buying Thermaltake products or not because of the controversy that they had with Case Labs, I was on Case Labs' side of that story. But this case it wasn't a copy of any other case that I can find on the market. So, I wanted to get something that was unique, and I felt like that's what this was, so I went ahead and got it. The power supply is the Silverstone ST1500 Ti, which is a 1500 watt titanium power supply, total monster. I've got the ASRock X399 professional gaming motherboard in there, with the TR4 socket, total beast of a board. Disappointed by the one thing though, there's a tiny little sliver of red on the chipset heatsink that bothers me because I don't like color that mismatches in my system. Might try and figure out a way to paint that or something. I'm not sure there yet. And I've got the 1950X, the AMD Ryzen Threadripper 1950X processor, 16 cores, 32 threads. I really can't touch too much on how much I like the processor right now, as well as benchmarks and stuff, because I haven't done a whole lot of benchmarking, as well as I haven't done editing and stuff on it yet, because there hasn't been a lot of content on the site, as you know, because that's what this video is about. So I'm not really going to talk about my editing experiences with it yet, but doing a little bit of streaming and heavy multitasking and stuff, I'm obviously really impressed with it, but I'd expect a 16 core to be able to pound through that kind of stuff. Anyway, everybody, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the channel. Obviously, share the channel if you're interested in it, and check out the description. There's all kinds of links in the description to both support us as well as see our other avenues of content, such as the website or the forums, which you're welcome to post anything on the forums. I try to check them consistently myself, as well as our Patreon page is down there in case you're interested in giving a monthly contribution to the channel directly to us to help us, purchase products for review or purchase equipment for better videography and better service providing and stuff like that. And of course, thank you everybody for watching.